It's 2 a.m. Your house alarm just triggered. You're awake, heart going, phone in your hand, and before you've reached the light switch, a drone has already lifted off its charging dock in the hallway, flown toward the sound, and is streaming live footage to your screen. That's one of the 8 gadgets in this video, and the other 7 work just as hard. Links to all of them are in the description below with the best current deals, so check those while you watch. This first one does something most security setups can't. The Meross MS605 costs $32, and what it does at that price point is detect actual human presence, not just movement. You see, most sensors in a home security setup use passive infrared, which means they react to motion, and the moment someone stops moving, they go blind. The MS605 combines mmWave radar, a passive infrared sensor, and a light sensor in one compact unit. The radar picks up micro movements like breathing, shifting weight, and the subtle physical signals you give off just by standing somewhere completely still, hoping nobody notices you. That's a completely different category of awareness. It runs on Matter over Thread, which means it integrates cleanly with Apple Home, Google Home, Alexa, SmartThings, and Home Assistant without workarounds. A single battery lasts up to 3 years. The honest downside, calibration takes patience, and response time varies between half a second and 5 seconds. For smart lighting, that's fine. For a security trigger, you might want to take that into account when you configure this thing. But even with presence detection covered inside, there's one entry point the Meross can't handle: your windows.
The Vivint glass break detector at $50 to $80 fills that gap with acoustic sensing tuned specifically to glass breaking frequencies. It listens for 2 things in sequence: the initial impact, then the shattering, and only triggers when it hears both. That 2-stage process is what separates it from alarms that fire every time a truck rumbles past, and you know exactly whose house that is on your street. One unit covers a 20-foot radius in every direction, so a single sensor placed correctly can cover an entire room's worth of windows. Battery life runs 3 to 5 years with tamper detection built in. The limitation worth being clear about is acoustic sensors. They are sensitive to placement and room acoustics. Some setups perform reliably, others don't. The detector works best as part of a layered setup alongside your door and window contacts, not as a replacement for them. Now that the windows are covered, outdoor coverage becomes essential. The TP-Link Tapo C325WB at $120 to $150 is the outdoor camera on this list, and the thing that sets it apart is what it can do in the dark. Most outdoor cameras go grayscale the moment the sun sets. You get a washed-out infrared image of a vague shape and not much else. This camera delivers full-color video down to 0.05 lux, which is near total darkness. You can see the jacket color, facial features, license plate detail, the color of their eyes, thanks to its 2K QHD resolution. The AI detection separates people from pets and vehicles, so you're not getting pinged every time a cat crosses the driveway at 3 a.m. And because it's hardwired, there's no battery running flat precisely when you need it most. The downside is its fixed positioning, which means placement is a one-time decision, so get it right. But the night performance at this price point makes that an easy commitment.
Here's what I hate most about doorbell cameras. They have a narrow field of view. The Aqara G400 at $150 to $200 uses a 165-degree ultra-wide lens in a vertical 3 to 4 orientation, head to toe, ground-level packages, the full picture of who's there and what they brought. Resolution is 2K. It connects on Wi-Fi 6 for a faster, more stable stream, and it supports HomeKit secure video. This means video processing happens locally on your hub, not on a server in someone's garage. Power comes from PoE or existing doorbell wiring, so there are no batteries to manage. Two-way audio includes noise cancellation, which is the difference between an actual conversation through the door and sounding like you're talking through a tin can on a string. One honest caveat: if HomeKit is your primary ecosystem, stress test the remote stream in the first few weeks. The quality can drop or degrade, and you want to know that early while you can still return it. All of that, the presence sensor, the glass detector, the outdoor camera, the doorbell, gets significantly more power powerful when it has a central brain to run through.
The Abode Iota at $200 to $300 is that brain. It's an all-in-one security gateway with a built-in 1080p camera, a 93 decibel siren, and a motion sensor inside the hub unit itself. The real value is the protocol support. Z-Wave, Zigbee, and Wi-Fi running simultaneously, which means virtually every smart home security device on the market can connect to it. Apple HomeKit, Google Home, Alexa, and SmartThings are all natively supported. No mandatory monthly subscription. You self-monitor for free. Professional monitoring is optional at $6 a month if you want it. Run that against what a traditional security company charges over 5 years, and the difference is significant. Security automations also run locally, so if your internet connection drops, the system keeps functioning. That's the difference between a security system and a security system with an exploitable off switch. The interface takes some adjustment, especially coming from Ring or SimpliSafe, but what you get in return is a setup you own and control. Speaking of owning stuff, if you're getting value out of this, smash that like button like you own it, and subscribe if you want more straight, no fluff coverage of the best gadgets that matter to you the most. Let's talk front door security. The Lockley Visage Xeno at $349 is a fundamentally different kind of lock. It uses something called binocular 3D facial mapping, which are dual 2-megapixel infrared sensors that build an actual 3D map of your face that a photograph can't replicate and a hat or sunglasses won't confuse. You approach the door, it reads your face, it unlocks. It's as simple as that. You have 6 ways to access: facial recognition, a 3D biometric fingerprint scanner with AI learning, keypad, app, voice command, and a physical key as backup. You assign each method to whoever needs it and manage everything from the app. No subscription, no biometric data leaving for third-party servers. It fits a standard deadbolt hole and installs as a DIY project. Just bear in mind that the instructions aren't the clearest, but we're men, so we don't need instructions anyway. Battery life runs 6 to 12 months, depending on settings. At $349, it's at the top end of the smart lock market. Then again, this is the thing standing between the outside world and everything inside your home. A lock only does its job once someone is already at your door. A security camera is what makes sure most people never get that far. The Eufy Floodlight camera E340 at $300 to $400 shifts the dynamic from passive monitoring to active deterrence, and it makes all the difference. It runs 2 3K cameras, 1 wide angle and 1 telephoto, on a motorized mount that pans a full 360 degrees horizontally and 180 degrees vertically. When motion is detected, it tracks automatically. While tracking, it triggers 2,000 lumens of floodlight. Someone approaching a dark corner of your property gets fully illuminated instantly, with no question about whether the camera has acquired them. If that's not enough, the 95 decibel siren is there. The telephoto lens with 8 times hybrid zoom means you're not just capturing a wide shot of someone's general presence, you're getting face detail and license plate clarity from a real distance. Local storage handles up to 512 gigabytes via micro SD. AI detection separates people from vehicles, pets, and packages, and there's no cloud subscription required. It needs hardwired 24-volt power, so a compatible transformer is part of the install. There have been firmware issues reported, but as a perimeter device that actively responds rather than quietly records, nothing else on this list covers ground like it does. All these gadgets so far are awesome, but this next one is in a category entirely by itself. The Ring Always Home Cam is a drone that lives in a charging dock inside your home. When your Ring alarm triggers, it launches on its own, flies to the location, and streams live 1440 PHD video at 30 frames per second directly to your phone. The gimbal stabilization means the footage is actually clear and usable, not shaky drone footage you can't make anything out of. It runs on both
both 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi, stores footage locally on a micro SD card, and connects to the Ring Protect plan for cloud backup if you want it. The whole thing weighs 437 grams and fits in your palm, which is easy to forget when you realize what it actually does. You set up multiple flight paths through the Ring app and it handles the rest on its own. The obstacle avoidance uses multiple sensors, so it's navigating around your furniture and through doorways in the dark without issue. When the patrol is done or the battery gets low, it docks itself automatically. And because it only flies when you're not home or when the alarm fires, it's not sitting there every evening watching you eat Cheetos out of the bag like an animal. It has 20 minutes of flight time and a 2 to 3 hour recharge cycle. If you need it ready for consecutive triggers, that gap matters. You do need an invite to get one, so patience is required. At $249.99, those are legitimate considerations. But if you want to take this surveillance thing further, the next video covers the 5 best new home security cameras available right now. So go watch that now and subscribe.